And if the thumbnail I'm going to use is any indicator, then boy, oh boy, we can talk about game development here. At least in, not just for me, but like just in general, which I usually always do anyway, as we get a normal Ath run. This is the most normal of normalist runs, but if I sound different, it's because I'm trying something different. And it's not that I'm trying something different, it's that I'm using something different. But anywho, let's just get into this. Nothing special here. Could set the backstory to random, but even I sound different in my head, and I'll explain why maybe later on as we get into Ath World of Horror, nothing else. Custom character. We do start with Fearful and... I'm going crazy. Wait, what? Memory extract experimental drug. Oh, because we're on Ath. I was like, how did I get 3 things? I'm not using a certain plugin. But memory extract's pretty cool, too. Knowledge, Takshisan, light, strength, dexterity, and maybe a second mystery check? I always add a question mark right there. But, you know what? For giggles, let's go knowledge, which means we need to set the occult shop and not use the vending machines, which makes me sad. But, I mean, hey, it's the best we've got. So... we get the library notes, might as well use the library notes as well. We get invisibility, and the notes go bye-bye. But I could also just, well, 1, the spell costs Doom, and 2, the spell that I got costs Doom. And, yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. Anyway, moving on. Nails, Kana, Festival, Labyrinth, and Cult. Well, guess we're grabbing Kana first. I think I just pushed a boss fight for later, but it's fine because we have Kana. Now, what's not going to be fine is if we grab a knowledge weapon and it's not enough, but, I mean, at least we're not on random item stats where our small candles can do 2 damage. Speak of the knowledge weapon, by the way, but yeah, off we go. Right before, well, actually, first, school, mansion, high threat level, forest, and I'm just going to brute force monkey brain police patrols in the forest, and off we go. But yeah, I wanted to talk about basically the if Jordan did the thumbnail as future Jordan should, and I know it's kind of cringe, I'm going third person here, but bear with me, I swear it makes sense. Nearly forgot to equip the small candle, by the way. It was We'll Visit History Club too. You know what? Yeah, throw to flame, funny enough, and let's visit the monument once. But as I accidentally slammed my finger against the microphone, yeah. We'll see what happens in the update, and we'll see when the update exactly comes out. Nice 9+2 roll by the way, game. But 20% bigger, that would be, I mean, maybe an extra 2 to 3 hours of content. If we're looking at the base game, because that's where I'm guessing, and I'm assuming you're also slowing down to read the text as well. That's why I said 2 to 3 hours minimum. Actually, let me add that part as well, because that sounds a bit too small for what Pantstas has planned. But if it's actually larger than that, I mean, hey, that's only gonna make me feel better. By the way, 3% plus 3% Doom. Also, we visited the school twice. That makes me sad, but hey, we're grabbing Kana after this, but let's go all out and see. If we hit all 3 of these, it would be nice. Otherwise, next turn we're doing the same thing anyway, because the best thing we can do here is, yeah, just do the same thing. We lose -2 all, but hey, Kana things. I mean, it doesn't matter. If we had Kana, we'd still be taking -1 all damage anyway, but shrug. Here's my occasional reminder that I keep forgetting that custom enemies are not controlled specifically on their own. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not, by the difficulty of the game. Harbinger of Doom. Affected by the 4th mystery and not. Although I'm not remembering that correctly, so I guess I'm going to find out if I ever remember. Would like to toss something while I'm just waiting for this animation here, but that's not the case. But yeah. And again, the normal reminder of whether or not I'll complete my game before Pantstas releases the update. I mean, that's just a fun little thing. I'm not... Well, I mean, you can be a bit competitive. I think there's, as I've mentioned before, I think there is some merit to being competitive as a game developer, at least in terms of, hey, I can do this, or I can do this and this better, quicker, and more efficiently, so on and so forth. But it's not really a point of, I guess, obsession, as we have Nails, Cult, and Labyrinth. I guess we can save Cult for labor. Later. Why am I thinking of a neighbor? Anywho, let's save Labyrinth for later. I want to try and level up and grab something from our level up We do have a Thotu Flame, but that's more an emergency spell. A Thotu Flame I consider more an emergency spell. I don't remember if there is an actual... I'm sure there's maybe one or two tops, but situations in which you, without going for a pseudo-infinite, use a Thotu Flame, and it makes more sense. Common examples is if you, for some reason, run into a -4 all enemy. More common examples is if you run into a 4 stamina or 4 reason damage enemy and you can't run because you're on Kathak, which I think I'm actually... No, I'm on Ath. I'm going absolutely insane. Anyway, you get the point. Thotu Flame has its specific use cases. If for no other reason, then certainly more times than not when you want to use up the resources it costs to cast that spell, which is 1 stamina, 1 reason, and 3 doom, as opposed to just getting slapped by, say, again, 2, 3 all, 3 stamina, 3 reason, at some points maybe even like 4 doom, but you get the point. Forgot to take out the... Oh no, I stored the handcuffs, I'm going crazy. Or they just ate through themselves to the storage, but... As we sit here and are sitting on 1 reason, we can go for a handcuff play here. I forgot my second encounter check anyway, or whether Tachi-san exists, but you know what? When you don't get the handcuff check because you missed every single hit, so be it, right? You know, so be it. But as we move on with our lives... So yeah, we can use the Thotu Flame a few times, because the primary, or the largest cost is the Doom compared to Stamina Reason, and again, I need to say that again. Compared to the Stamina and Reason cost of a Thotu Flame, we're visiting the school a lot, by the way, the Doom is by far the resource that you use more of. And if I'm getting the math wrong, I guess I'm getting the math wrong. Let's just pump into knowledge here, because we're going for every single attack. But we are also trying to make use of a Thotu Flame for this boss fight, basically. And yeah, the right choice there, like the rightmost choice, direction, right, is the freebie there. And if you succeed, I think something else happens. But anywho, as we roll an 11 on strength and move on. Again, basically I'm using a different pair of headphones. We'd roll another 11. I think we can still survive, but I guess we're going to find out. I could take a rest here. Let me just make sure. I'm pretty sure with 3... Oh, no, I'm going crazy. 2 Doom. I'm going crazy. I thought this cost 3 Doom for whatever reason. We are on Ath, but doesn't really matter. Even if that takes away like 5 Doom per cast, it's worth it, because if we did not, we would probably just end up dying to the boss here. Keeping in mind that we can also cast Invisibility Memory Extract, but we're not going to visit school enough times in a single mystery for that to matter. And as we sit here, so yeah, the reason cost is instead Doom, and as I just said, now we're spending 5 Doom per cast, but I gotta do it. In fact, might even use it more, but let's see if we hit this small attack. Small candle attack. I'm going crazy. I am recording during the night right now, but do I just want to take this risk here and make this a short video? We do 12 damage on average, but then it costs stamina to cast a Thotu Flame anyway. Maybe I should have just a Thotu Flame my way to victory. Well, I am in a bit of a pickle. Can I brace into a... No, I can't. Should have just used the Thotu Flame. I would have at least had a chance, I mean, without using dodge. I had a chance to do a thing, but I guess we're going to go for a dodge, and if I miss, I'm going to do another run. Because 50% doesn't mean jack to me. The name Jack, I mean, obviously there's an implicit meaning there, but... is all Eldritch Parasite with 3 custom mysteries. That's... We went from 0 to 10, or 11 in this case, if I want to be that exaggerative immediately, but you know what? It's not the craziest thing I've ever played. I think any commoner... a commoner, basically. What was I trying to... What are we doing here? Is it Zictast? Or is it Azal? I'm going crazy. I'm going to say Azal. Yeah, it's all Eldritch Parasite 3 custom mysteries, and yeah, we're just gonna completely change our strategy for this. So, Dexterity, second mystery, Light, Tachi-san, second encounter, Strength. I think I actually did have both seconds, but now we definitely have the Light check and the Tachi-san check. I did see an interesting conversation about Lighthouse Sigils Although I'll admit that I did not pay the most attention. Would have been nice if that was Mind Drain or Ghostly Spear. It was not, so shrug. But as we leave our casual clothes on and see what we have on our plate, Festival, Akamanto, Tour, Shibas, and Hobo. Was it Hobo that one that had a weird thing? In any case, I know I'm going to lose stamina before the end here. This is a very specific thing. Again, here's your learning lesson for the day. Especially since we got Ghostly Spear, I'm going to gamble a few more times. We have some Doom to spare. In fact, if I take Expel Evil, even more. But the point was that when you enter Akamanto here, and you're going for a non-ending A, you're going to take stamina damage, so it is more efficient, I believe, to take Ghostly Spear. That should be self-evident for those who don't know why. So Ghostly Spear costs -1 max stamina, or costs 1 max stamina. If you're on an Eldritch Parasite run specifically, and you get Ghostly Spear, and you take Cape first, is your mystery, you are guaranteed to lose enough stamina to pretty much, I think, 1 turn guaranteed, by using all of your max stamina, of course. Obviously, any stamina you lose in the course of the mystery, like I just did there, will allow you to use more Ghostly Spears without losing max stamina, essentially. And again, to rewind all the way back in case people really don't know what's going on Eldritch Parasite, you have more max stamina, so it is more... you get an efficiency bonus from using Ghostly Spear and Mind Drain, not like in damage-wise, but you understand the point. You have a larger pool of max stamina and max reason to use Ghostly Spear and Mind Drain, or Mind Drain, respectively. Now, I am losing reason left, right, and center, but yeah, that's just Eldritch Parasite. But you gotta take the goods with the bad, and the good is I get to do this over and over and over again until the enemy falls to a low enough HP where I feel comfortable. And in fact, we're gonna take a gamble here because I don't want to use any more max stamina. This is a greed play. You should just use max stamina until, well, this enemy dies or you get to a guaranteed kick range. Again, really quickly, for those who don't know, as I autopilot for the next 10 seconds, is that when an enemy's HP falls to 4, pretty much, you get a guaranteed win. You can, even if your kicks are like super inaccurate, you can do prep kick, guaranteed, and you don't need to worry about a thing. Now, what I need to worry about is whether or not I can do handcuff tech correctly, because as I just mentioned, I am recording at the night, and I am not at my most spry and spiffy. So, the answer to the question is yes, thankfully. But as we get... Oh, that's right, we're on Azal. Each active curse and fearful comes with the character, so we're just guaranteed to take at least 4 doom. Even if we had the old coin, I might consider not using it. Yes, I know in a previous video I used it when I had fearful, but bear with me here. Autor, Shiba, and Hobo. And we can run from the boss of Shiba, so we don't need to quote-unquote use max stamina. I think it costs reason, though, but I can't remember at the moment. But anywho, we'll take Hobo first. We'll take Shiba's third and see if anything good happens. If so, maybe we fight the boss. If not, we skip it. Just overall, I'm pretty sure the boss of I have not fought it in a while. I'm pretty sure it had like 30-40 plus HP for whatever reason. And I'm not saying that as a negative criticism. I'm just saying that I can't remember. So that's why I say it like that. That being said, if I wanted to take a risk again, at this point it's 50-50. And I did miss, so we just took -2 all. Now I'm just curious to see how my RNG can go, but yeah, again, if I were advising someone playing in my exact situation, I would say just use Ghostly Spear and guarantee. I just got really greedy there, so I chose not to. But if it works out, if you take the risk and it works out, then everything is great. If not, though, pain. Also, Haunting Dreams, obviously a dead perk on Eldritch Parasite because you cannot recover anymore. I forgot what my checks are, but I'm just gonna... Oh, I don't know, actually. Just acknowledge. I need to check the lighthouse again. Oh, goodness. Again, our Doom is doing very, very well. It's the rest of our... That took away 3 stamina for succeeding? Why do I not remember that? Anywho. I forgot what I was going to say because I was completely flabbergasted by succeeding a check and losing 3 stamina. As we proceed to roll a 12 and then lose 2 reason. Basically, I'm starting my 3rd mystery with 66% of my resources on Eldritch Parasite. It's a bit dicey. It's not impossible to win, but it certainly is dicey, at least in my opinion. We'll take Shiba's here. You know what? For giggles, let's actually fight the boss. So we do have the spell rule, so we lose 2 Doom per spell. Doesn't matter because Ghostly Spear on an Eldritch Parasite run with Zictas, obviously, is well worth the... Why would the game do this? RNG. Anywho. No, it did not. The game did not spit out the Earthly Suture. I forgot. That was literally RNG saying, hey, you got Earthly Suture on your... You got Earthly Suture as a spell. And then I forgot the spell, and then I rolled the one spell out of all the spells again. That was the same, that I didn't need. I mean, obviously there are a lot of bad spells that you probably don't want to get anyway. And a common example, at least on Eldritch Parasite, is Cauterize, unless you have something that procs off spell use, I guess. But aside from that, So here's an example of an encounter in which you cast Ghostly Spear the perfect number of times, and then you just prep kick your way out. Attack boost twice, kick as well, but prep kick is less real life time. Unless something truly evil reaches out from beyond the computer screen and grabs my face. But aside from that, so dexterity, blah, and then blah. So I'm going to actually double up on dexterity. I'm pretty sure we have that. Check in the lighthouse. I didn't check for some reason, but again, let's confront this and see what happens to my face. So yeah, 42 HP, really 40-ish HP as if this was my first history, but as you can see here, we're just going to do this. In fact, I'm probably going to run out of max stamina. That's fine, because that's better than taking 4 stamina in the face. Otherwise, I could brace here and kick. Yeah, you know what? The reason we want to do this is if we hit this kick, we get to Ghostly Spear our way to victory. So 1, 2, yeah, we lose 1 max stamina here, but we get to prep kick our way out. Please give me at least like 20 experience then. Well, I mean, that would have been my balance, but it's 15 experience, and we take the spell in the face. So, spell and curses, I believe? Am I going crazy? Spell, yeah, spell and then curse. So, 2 doom for Ghostly Spear, but 1 doom for Fearful. That's the end of the sentence. Experience rule this time, and unfortunately enough, you know, funny enough, not going for the thingamajiggy here. The actually going for investigations here probably might be better. Actually, I have the doom. I don't know why I'm doing that. Never mind. I'm going crazy. Yeah, we have the doom to spare. It's not going to be bad if I take like 9% doom just once. Now, if I can level up, that would be great, but because we're on an Eldritch Parasite run, I'd care less about my low doom, as odd as that may sound. So let's sell off our doom here, and off we go. Now, in a very bad mystery, as I shift in my seat, our doom could just shoot up by like 25%, but 1, that's the nature of Azal, but 2, more generally, in any run, no matter what god backstory combination, you can just roll like 12s left, right, and center and lose like 9 doom minimum. So, shrug. Yeah, we need to start taking stamina damage, funny enough, because 1, I forgot to check the lighthouse again, but 2, our reason is pretty low. So, actually, we could trade blows with this if I so chose. In fact, I even have a meat cleaver, and I didn't equip it, so that's my fault. But we can still just use up a bunch of our max stamina. We can take 1 hit to the face. Because again, our doom is relatively low for where we're at, even if Azal is about to penalize us with like 9% doom here. Now, it's very unfortunate that we're very close to leveling up. Funny enough, if I visit the forest here, I could level up. Yeah, you know what? Let's just play it. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're going to take 9 doom in the face. This is very unfortunate, by the way. But funny enough, we'd still be on track to clear with a good amount of doom remaining. It's just that Azal slaps us in the face here. And we're probably going to get... Let's assume the worst and get slapped. Say we get slapped by another 9% doom on top of us running away here? Question mark? Can we brace into 2? No, we cannot. So, in place of this, so 12%, yeah, that's not worth it. It's not worth it. 12% doom, that's a lot. So we're about to take 9 doom in the face, and we take another 9 doom, we'd be at 72%, or sorry, no, and time skip, sorry. So we'd be at 81% doom. Never mind, we're doing a lot worse now. In fact, actually, we could have leveled up after that boss, couldn't I have? I went crazy. Well, either way, what I'm trying to say is there's a very good chance I still somehow survive this run. You know what? I forgot to check the lighthouse, but I don't really care anymore. So, 2 for each item in inventory. Keeping in mind that we're guaranteed to take at least 3 Doom at the end here, but aside from that, also we have the Crestfallen Mask. I forgot about that, actually. I just haven't been using it the whole time. Also, the experimental drug is pretty much just used for funds here, but that's perfect. In fact, we should just sell it now. There's no point keeping this. There's no event that asks for it, whereas a lot more events ask for funds. But hey, take our free out. Again, usually the right choice, direction right, is the free out, or just take less damage and don't roll. But hey, we rolled a 1, so we succeed in increased doom. Cool. And then we roll an 11 and fail the check that we want to succeed. So, cool again. It's not cool, but you get what I mean. You can't make this up, man. At least we have Ghostly Spirit to just carry us through, kinda. No, I'd rather do this. In fact, did we just die to reason, by the way, at the lighthouse? I guess we're gonna find out. We get, I think, little experience for this. Also, we could just level up and just take a bunch of Doom as well, but yeah, I was supposed to have roll or increased charisma, I think, just in case. Too late now, but also, we're taking penalty damage in this downtown, so no matter what happens, if reason quote-unquote increases, it's gonna decrease. We passed again, because, I mean, whether I had 4 knowledge or 8 knowledge, we rolled a 2. Thankfully, we passed that check, though, but could have been worse. So, as we move on here, let's try... Well, that is actually quite unfortunate, because what that causes is we're probably not going to level up before the end of this mystery, which means we are going to take a bunch of Doom damage here. And just like that, my run is being thrown down the drain. So, yeah. So we take 10... we're dead. I promise you we're dead no matter what. Like, this was very, very, very unfortunate. So, as we take a bunch of damage, and then we get Fearful, that's right. Fearful on Eldritch Parasite makes things a lot worse. You effectively have less reason to work with, because you're guaranteed to run into a bunch of encounters, which means all the encounters you run into are just going to hurt you. I am just tossing out Ghostly Spheres left, right, and center here, because, well, 1, I have 2 stats at 8 that count for stamina at the lighthouse, but 2, pain. So, I'm in mental pain. But maybe we get to level up here? I guess we're going to find out. We do get to level up, so we can keep our Doom low. Now, what's unfortunate is nothing else matters, so we do get our Charisma to 8, but I'm pretty sure we had a light check. So, without a light source, we are dead at the lighthouse, because that light check, failing it, gives you 3 Doom, or increases Doom by 3. So, without further ado, I mean, I'd just like to thank everyone for watching. You know, we're going to do this dexterity check, this second mystery check, and then the run's going to be over. So, yeah, without further ado, though, if there's nothing else to say, I mean, it's the end of the video, but you too, if you have anything to say, you know what to do. Comment section is always open. Whether or not I respond correctly or promptly is a completely different story. But as I guess Hobo right, and then we take 3 reason damage to the face here, I guess I'll see you in the next video!